Welcome to the Grit and Grace podcast, where real conversations meet real growth. This is the place where we lean into life's challenges with grit and rise above them with grace. Whether you're here for encouragement, practical tools, or a reminder that you're not walking this journey alone, you're in the right place. So let's dive in. What's up, Christy?
What's up?
Well, so little disclaimer, because we usually talk about what we're doing, right?
Oh, okay.
So, like what we've been up to. So, we are filming from Duluth, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And we ran Grandma's marathon and half marathon this morning.
Yes.
So, we are multitasking because we know that we're going to come back to work like head down hard
Yes,
work.
yes.
So, we just decided, hey, we'll film our podcast while we're here.
I think it's great.
So-
A little different scenery.
Yeah.
And we're running on endorphins right now, aren't we?
Yes, I feel like I look a little tired.
I think we'll sleep well tonight.
A little tired, but
We're snuggle buddies.
we're running on endorphins. And Grace Wellness has moved since our last podcast. And we've had 2 weeks in our new building, and it's been great.
It's been great.
So we'll have to settle into a new podcast location for our next podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So from like a training perspective, we're just like going back to hot summer and like working on a training plan. We don't have another race other than like 4th of July and like the little races. We don't have another race till October. So
4th of July. Is that's the next one? Halloween Hustle
like-
will be after Chicago.
And 4th of July is like in 10 days. So,
Are you serious?
well, it's June 20th.
It really is.
It's a little bit more, 14.
That's a
I
fast
guess.
5K. I remember that last year.
I go out for blood on that
You
one.
did.
So, yeah,
That
'cause I
was
got
your first sub
female.
20, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's hot.
That was that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotta
Wow.
get ready for that. Hopefully, my legs feel a little fresher by then.
I didn't realize that it was
So-
that soon.
Well, the 4th of July it always falls on the 4th of July.
It's like putting things together, Christy.
Yeah. So, today's podcast, I think this was born out of conversation about our nutrition and weight loss program at Grace Wellness. And because, we pretty much debrief every day
we do.
and work on, okay, what are we doing well? What are our patients asking? What do they need to know?
Yes.
Because we are so committed to really trying to help the patients that have not invested in their health, that they feel stuck.
Yes.
And so we were talking about breaking free from diet cultures.
Yes.
Because so many times, pretty much nearly all the time, our patients, especially females, and that's our heart's kind of for the mama that hasn't prioritized her health or somebody that's super affected by hormones, they're just stuck in the diet culture.
Oh yeah, they're stuck in the marketing of diet cultures.
Yeah.
And the convenience
Yes.
of diet culture.
Yes.
And
so, like, our preconceived ideas about eating,
yes,
and that's one barrier. And then we have the barrier of
under eating.
which we'll get to, but we have the barrier of the food, like what you were saying, like food available because of all the processed stuff.
And that's the sad thing. And you can't fail them. What's the word? I can't say that they're wrong because
Fault them.
Fault them.
Yes.
Yes. I can't fault them because they think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. I tell patients all the time, and I really do think because of the age of the patients that we see, I say, we both lived through the 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
And I always think about like snack wells. That's
Oh,
what always
yes.
comes to mind.
I
because
did.
The 1990s was like the era
Low fat.
of low fat,
Yep.
eat less, and do step aerobics.
Yep.
know,
Atkins was then too.
I
think.
mean,
Yep.
so diet culture teaches us to eat less, to weigh less, to
Yep.
shrink your body as little as you can, to fear food. Like, this is actually what you do all day.
Yes.
Is try to dispel these myths
Yes.
of diet culture.
Yes.
Exercise to earn food. Like, I'm going to work out. I'm going to run, walk on the treadmill, walk,
Yes.
so that I can eat this. Or to chase the quick fixes.
Yeah. Or, I mean, like they exercise to earn food, but I don't think some people realize how much it takes to burn calories
Yeah.
because so many people are thinking just walking is enough. And it's not enough to really get your heart rate up and to really burn. And so I really try to use all of these wearables that we use to educate them on how much active calories you're actually burning. And it's
telling.
Yeah.
It's telling, and people don't recognize the importance of muscle mass and strength training still, even when you like try so hard to preach it to them. So especially women are still stuck in that underfueling and caloric restriction mindset.
Yeah. And when you are doing that, if you're underfueling, you're going to make that the muscle mass even worse than it already is.
Yeah.
And so, just like you said, our heart is for women, in that 35, 65?
Yeah,
Is that
I
a
would
good
say
age range?
that's probably, and we see men too.
Yes.
It's just, I feel like women have fallen victim to the diet culture more so than men.
But and so many women, we had the podcast on hormones. Their testosterone has plummeted.
Yeah.
And then they get into that decade of also their muscles being depleted faster. And it is like the perfect storm. And then we underfuel. And then I have to tell them on the in-body that you're heading towards fragility.
Yeah.
Because,
and I think about the in-bodies that we've looked at when women are like at the ideal weight that they want to be. They weigh 122 and they have no muscle. And so their basal metabolic rate, meaning the amount of calories that they burn just living, is like 1,050 or something like that.
Yes.
Well, you can't even eat anything,
I know.
because your basal metabolic rate is 1,000 or 1,100. Whereas if you have muscle mass,
those women are eating 1,700 calories.
Yeah. And just last week, I had somebody come in that had been seeing you for nutrition, and she's like, I've lost 20 pounds by eating more. Like, people, when they get stuck all the time, we're like, you're underfueling. What are you eating? And so it is such a paradigm shift because you've grown up in that culture.
Yeah. Well, and it's just when you get to that stage of midlife and what pounds are starting to come on and what you used to do is not working any longer, unfortunately, more women are pushing that plate away as a way of debating, of negating this, and it's the worst thing that they can do. And and also too high of carbs.
Yeah,
way too high of carbs. We are underfueling and we're underproteining.
Yeah,
that is the problem.
And I think it still goes back to the diet culture that we've been taught, like, eat light, eat the potato soup and the half
the
sandwich,
salad with no protein.
Yeah, salad and potato soup. Like, you just ate zero protein. So all carbs, nothing to fuel your muscles.
Yes.
And your muscles are going to fuel your basal metabolic rate.
Yeah.
So it's just like a perfect storm that just continues in a spiral.
Oh, it is. I mean, and the thing is, I hear a lot of people, like, I always ask what people are eating, and like a very common thing, and they think it's healthy, is avocado toast. I mean, an avocado is great.
Yeah.
I love avocado.
There's no protein.
There's no protein.
Yeah.
Great fiber, great fat, put it on sourdough, okay? I mean, but where's the eggs? Where's the Applegate sausage? Where is something else that is going to do that, to be the healthy? Because you are just waking up, cortisol's up, and then we're just putting in high carbs.
Yeah.
So we're not sustaining that blood sugar. We're not. It's.
Yeah. Well, and signs that you could be underfueling. I see this all the time. It's the exhaustion. It's the poor recovery. It's hair loss, brain fog, poor sleep, increased risk for injuries, constantly feeling hungry.
Yep.
We hear that all the time.
Yep.
Like, I just always feel hungry. Well, it's because you're underfueling, eating zero protein.
Yes.
So, or stalled fat loss, like we said. That is so common. So, so that is definitely one of the big diet culture things that we see.
Yes.
Is underfueling. And under eating protein. I would say that's one of the top things that we deal with every day.
100%.
So another diet culture thing that comes up often, a question, is fasting.
Yes.
And so kind of speak to us about fasting, that it can be a useful tool in the right person. It's not
100%.
magic, but,
Yeah.
The myth is that everybody should fast.
Yes.
And there are some like caveats to that. And you do think that everybody should fast a certain length of time.
Yes. Yes. I think everyone should go 12 hours without eating. And we have a fasting podcast. We've talked about it. And we are both fans of fasting. We believe in fasting. But the problem is, and everyone thinks that this intermittent fasting, which can be good, but when you are trying to get in protein, you don't, their feeding window is not big enough. And so a lot of people that are fasting, that enjoy fasting, and I always ask them, why are you fasting? Are you fasting for weight loss? Or are you fasting for health?
Yeah.
Because I believe in fasting for health.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, and most people, they're fasting for weight loss. Again, you're back to underfueling. You're back to under eating. They think if I eat less often, but it's
near impossible to get your protein intake
nearly impossible
in a small window.
Well, yeah, and then the problem is most people really enjoy not eating breakfast. It is unreal how many people do not eat breakfast.
Yeah.
That I talk to. I'm just not a breakfast person. And if they would just start their day, within an hour, 90 minutes after waking up or after fitness or their workout or something, and start fueling then and eat for the next maybe 10 hours and maybe do a 14-hour fasting window and stop eating at like 4 or 5 p.m. Cool. Love that.
Yeah.
You have plenty of time to get your protein in.
That 12-hour window, it does increase metabolic flexibility. It helps with insulin resistance, blood sugar regulation, helps with appetite control. So I do believe you say the 12 hours for health reasons.
Yes.
And you can see metabolic benefit. You can see weight benefit. But we all can handle 12 hours of not eating.
Yes.
It quickly reminded me of people thinking that the pretzels on the airplane are going to save them. That's what it reminded me of. We always say, like, because people want to eat so frequently, or you need that bedtime snack or whatever.
The bedtime snack.
So when we travel, we're like, people act like those pretzels are going to save them.
I know. I mean, they're handing out snacks. Yes, I want some.
Yes.
Like, we're good. Me and Bethany, we're good.
We're good. But that eating window, like an eating window just makes you more intentional with what you're eating.
Yes, and I love an eating window because you got to start and you got to stop.
Yeah.
You got to stop.
Yeah.
You got to stop. Because, and I tell everybody at the first day I meet them, when we are on a weight loss goal, I need you to get your protein and I need you to stop eating 3 hours before bed.
Yeah.
And if everyone can take those standards, those rules, whatever you want to name them in your world, into your 70s and 80s, we're good. But it's just like when people start to, the older they get, they start getting snacky in the evening, and they're eating all the way to bed. So then we're disrupting sleep. You don't disrupt sleep. You always honor that sleep so that you are getting a lower resting heart rate, because the older you get, the less deep sleep you get. So there is a reason behind why you're not eating 3 hours before bed. And hey, you don't need it. We don't need those calories. So they just need to start eating sooner. And I see that too many times, so often. I would almost say I would say 60 to 70% of people that I see do not eat breakfast.
Yeah, isn't that staggering?
I know.
Because wouldn't you say, probably for both of us, that breakfast is our highest protein meal, and like even maybe one of our biggest?
It probably is our biggest meal.
Yeah, probably so. But so that's an important, just kind of clearing things up related to fasting and like what's been ingrained in us about that. Yes. Another thing is the whole exercise as kind of punishment so that you can earn what you ate.
Yeah.
And we have to view exercise as it's building strength. It is protecting longevity.
Amen.
Like you said about frailty, like we're going to have this whole population of under-muscled, frail women, which is scary.
Yes.
And support mental health. It helps with hormone balance. It improves energy. But it is not punishment for eating.
It is not punishment for eating.
So,
and it's like just was it yesterday I shared that with you, that reel? And it showed a woman like in her 20s or 30s and another woman like right next to each other, same age. One worked out, one did not strength train. And the other one aged, but still had the stature, had the frame, had a healthy weight.
Yeah.
She looked better, aged well. And the other one is like shrinking and her back is rounding and she's gaining weight and she aged so much in her face. It was unreal. Yeah. And I was like, that is scary.
It really is.
It was like, that is it, because you have got to lift weights. You have got to strength train, because that is you said it's the structure, it's the scaffolding.
Yeah, it's the scaffolding.
It is the scaffolding.
And you're going to have osteoporosis, and you're going to be kyphotic where your back starts to curve. And when I look at those patients, like hormones and strength training make the biggest impact on longevity.
Because people don't realize that you've got to put stress on the bones.
Right.
And when you are talking about osteoporosis, that it's not drinking milk. That's
please no.
It's not going to do it.
But, strength training also, because of what we said about muscle, it increases metabolism. It improves insulin sensitivity. It improves bone density, protects the joints from injuries, improves body composition. So it is such an important part of aging.
Yeah.
And it's a paradigm shift, just like the snack wells that I talked about, because we are dealing with patients that lived through the 1990s when it was all about as much cardio Zumba, jazzercise, step aerobics as you could do.
Yeah.
And then eat less and make sure it's fat-free.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like if people that have been in the gym before, I've grown up in a gym since I was in high school. I've always been in a gym, but I've always been in the weight room area of a gym predominantly. I've done cardio and runs and things like that and Stairmasters, but I've always seen the cardio queen. Unfortunately, it's usually a woman that looks the same, is always killing herself on that cardio machine, and is just, you can just see it's just not aging well and looks exactly, nothing's changing. And you get a woman that's in the gym, she's creating the curves, she's glowing, she is more defined, she's seeing the muscle that she's building, and I mean, she just looks healthier instead of someone just getting on a machine and just sweating.
Yeah. So the paradigm shift here is strong is greater than skinny.
Yes.
And so another kind of myth with diet culture is the whole BMI thing. I think I said something about BMI the other day to Christy. She's like, I don't even know what BMI is.
No idea. I really don't care.
BMI stands for body mass index, and it is limited. It does not take into account muscle mass. It does not take into account body structure, body habitus, that kind of thing. And it just basically is this arbitrary number that is a formula based on your height and your weight that says whether or not you're overweight. And so many, especially women, because we're hard on ourselves, get caught up on this whole BMI or this whole number on the scale. And so what's different about what you do is you put somebody on the InBody and look at their body composition.
Yes.
And so what that means is that we're looking at their percent body fat, their muscle mass.
Yes.
And that is a much better metabolic indicator.
It's a much better metabolic indicator, but it is staggering at the amount of people that are 40 to 50% body fat.
Yeah.
And that is the sad truth, is that when you are so fixated on a number on a scale, you don't really care how you get there.
Yeah.
At what expense? What are you using up? What is the expenditure? What's the word? I can't think of the word. But you're willing to give up something to get a number on a scale, and what that something is muscle mass.
Yeah. What are you going to sacrifice to get the number?
Yeah. I mean, when you have 50 pounds of muscle as a 5'6" female and then 105 pounds of body fat,
Yeah.
you might be 150 on a scale. But
you're
I mean,
obese.
yeah, you're. I'm like, oh man, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, body
So,
fat percentages. I mean, yeah,
body
fat percent.
composition means so much more than the number on a scale.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what matters the most is muscle mass, body fat, like what you said, visceral fat, which is like fat around your organs in your midsection, which is scary.
Yeah.
And then hydration, metabolic health, strength, energy, function. And so we should always self-evaluate, especially if you're trying to lose weight. Are you losing weight? Are you losing muscle?
Yeah.
And that's what you help people do, which I really appreciate and we're committed to.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, it's when people get on the path and they start to prioritize protein and they start to prioritize strength training and getting into the gym, I always, how do you feel? Do you feel stronger? And they always do. And you know how confident women get if they feel stronger? And men? I mean, and that is, it's sad because the unfortunate thing is men are losing muscle faster too.
We had that whole conversation.
Because their testosterone's
tanks
declining.
because the world we live in, and then because they're not prioritizing strength training
They're
either.
They're not.
So it's the American diet and our lifestyle.
Yeah, it's just
Very sad.
it's just they're just willing to sacrifice their health to I don't know. I mean, I understand raising kids and having a family and doing and being an entrepreneur and having a job. It is a lot of responsibility, but
if you're not healthy, it doesn't matter.
Get up an hour earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, we've said this on so many podcasts. If I could just say one thing, just change one thing in the next 30 days, just get up an hour earlier.
Yeah, and plug in good habits to that hour.
Well, yes.
Yeah. So another kind of myth or thing that we want to dispel in the diet culture is we want to talk about fake protein versus real food. So this is so common. And this is a little bit sticky because first of all, we're going to say we are thankful if anybody's making effort to eat more protein. Like
that is true.
That if they're replacing protein, they're eating protein instead of a carb. Good job.
Yes.
But not all protein's created equally.
Correct.
So, what's your take on that? Because we see it all the time. So when we're talking about fake protein, we're talking about processed protein.
Yes.
So we were sitting on this trip, I was looking into, it was like a GNC or a health food store, and I nearly commented to you because it was like, I could see the protein chips, the protein Pop-Tarts, the protein all in the window, protein powder. And so, although it is protein, it is very processed.
It is. It's a thing, guys. And let me understand, because I know a lot of people listen to this podcast that come to see us, and the ready to drink protein drinks. It's like the ones that are already made that you get at the gas station. They're very convenient. And anything really convenient is sometimes there's going to be a price on it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a price of what's internally going on. Look at the ingredients. Just look at the ingredients, and if it has like 40 or 50 ingredients, just use it sparingly. Yeah. I understand that they are convenient, and I understand that they're getting their protein, and I just need to say that I am a fan of whey protein. Whey protein has the perfect amino acids that your muscles need, and it is absorbed quickly into your muscles. So if I was not dairy intolerant, I would probably be drinking whey protein shakes. It'd be a very clean whey protein shake. Mm-hmm. It would be one without artificial sweeteners. It would be grass-fed, grass-finished, and it would be with ingredients that I know and trust. And so I am more of a fan of that, because I do understand it's hard to get 100, especially for men, 160, 180 grams of protein.
Right.
It's just when I keep hearing, I drank a Fairlife shake for breakfast, and then I ate some Quest chips for lunch, and I had a protein bar for a snack, and I'm like, there's no real food in here.
Right.
And it's like I first, just like you said, I applaud them for making changes. We are now seeing protein in a new light.
Yeah.
And that's great. But, and I always tell them, because it's usually my face probably, that I'm like, that's a lot of just processed and over processed foods, that if you're going to come to me, and I tell them this, if you come to me in 3 or 4 months and you're stalled or you're having gut issues,
Yeah.
then we're going to address this.
Yeah, because I was going to say that, I have so many patients come in and complain of bloating and gut issues.
Yes.
And, both of us, perfect example, we know fake protein because we can't tolerate it.
No, I can't.
It does not agree with us. So if you are dealing with bloating and abdominal pain, constipation, diarrhea, then the first thing you need to evaluate is, what are you eating?
It's a lot of ingredients that your body just does not know what to do with.
Yeah.
But another thing about it is a lot of them have artificial sweeteners in it, and those are they're just gut irritants.
Yes, they are endocrine disruptors and gut irritants.
Oh.
So good examples of real protein are eggs, chicken, turkey. If you're not dairy intolerant, you could throw in Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. But fish, lean beef, those are what we're talking about. We're on a trip right now. We went to the grocery store and we had eggs and we had chicken sausage and we had all protein, and we're here for a race. I was like, we have no carbs. This is good. But
carb it up, guys.
Yeah. But I mean, that's our pattern.
Yes.
So
that's what we eat.
Yeah. So it's just important because, like we've said through this whole podcast, protein's not optional.
Yeah, it's not optional, but the thing about people don't realize is you're so carb dependent. So many people are carb dependent, or those processed bars and shakes and things like that, they go through your body fast. And so your body just is using it up quickly because it's already processed. Your body doesn't have to work for it.
Yeah.
When you give it meat, it has to work to break it down and utilize and turn it into amino acids. And so the thing is, you've got to have protein, and you're more satiated. You're more satisfied. You're fuller for longer. And people don't understand that because when people are prioritizing protein, and then I also tell them, please stop eating 3 hours before bed. They're like, by the time I get to dinner, I'm pretty full.
Yeah.
It's because you're eating more protein.
Right.
And your body is like, okay, I'm good.
What would you tell me if I came to your office and I was eating my protein bar? What do you usually tell clients?
I will sometimes, if that would happen, I would probably review the ingredients with you.
Yeah, because you don't.
It's more about educate.
Call it kind of a glorified candy bar.
Oh, 100%. I think a Snickers is sometimes better because I know the ingredients.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's milk chocolate. It's
caramel,
caramel, sugar. It's real sugar. It's an artificial sugar.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to eat Snickers.
No, but the protein bars, when you think. Because that's all marketing, it's all marketing scheme, but you think you're eating healthy, and that's really just so full of processed stuff.
And the thing is, I am about long-term health. I want to get you to that final decade as healthy as possible, not just aesthetically. I want you to be healthy on the inside. And it's like somebody the other day came in with a very popular clear protein. And she gave it to me at the beginning of our meeting. And I said, well, good, I'm glad. I said, I like whey protein isolate. It's easier on your belly. It's a little bit more processed. So it's usually doesn't bloat as much as a whey protein. And so then when she left, she had to ask me again. She asked me, she goes, so is this stuff really good? I was like, I can't lie to you. I'm not going to say it's good and then you go off and tell people it's good because it had an artificial sweetener in it. So it's not that I just told her it's not something I would choose because I don't put artificial sweeteners in my body. And you really have to decide what is your constitution, your non-negotiable. What is your choice of what you're doing? It's almost like you can go down so many rabbit holes of microplastics and artificial sweeteners and dairy and seed oils, and you can pretty much eat nothing.
Yeah.
It is. It's very hard. And so I just educate them and let them make the decision.
Yeah.
Because not everybody is as regimented or tries to eat as clean as I do.
Yeah.
But I can't let them leave the office thinking I think that's a good thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect sense. Well, so we know that we may have like stepped on a few toes with this little diet cultures podcast, but our real goal is just to educate you that it's more important. Strength is more important than being skinny.
Yes.
Fueling is more important than caloric restriction. Muscle over punishment, like exercise is not punishment. And then, you know, to be consistent.
Yes.
That you don't have to be perfect, but, you know, perfect example is like we eat at the same places. If we are traveling and we have to eat out of town, we always eat at the same places. We're consistent.
Yeah.
Are they perfect? No, because perfect would actually be eating at home.
Exactly.
But consistency and, you know, always choose the real food over the process.
Amen. And I mean, and that's the thing is you just have to build your habits that are sustainable. They have to take you into each decade of your life. And but again, it's not about perfection. I tell everybody that, you know, you're going to find some joy in your life. And it's like I tell everybody, you know, if you're going to your granddaughter's birthday party, eat the cupcake. You know, if you're going to a wedding, you know, have a piece of the cake, but don't do it every week.
Yeah.
You know, it's more of like that's the problem is people have like a celebration every week.
Yeah.
And they detour all the time.
Yeah.
And they just don't stay the path and make things a special occasion.
Right. Right.
So.
We associate all good things with food. So, you know, and the deal is what I love about what we do at Grace Wellness is our goal really is to educate and empower you to give you the tools.
Yep.
But then it's so rewarding. We were talking about this week that I've seen so many patients back for follow-up that maybe they've been working on weight loss and nutrition for 3 or 4 months and they've seen such good progress and they come back in so confident and any change they've made is positive, you know, like it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you are just hitting your protein goals, like that's huge for somebody that maybe potato soup and a salad was their lunch.
I know.
And so we're just really committed to trying to do it the right way.
Yes.
And for it to be sustainable for longevity.
It is.
And, you know, just the confidence that you see when people number one see results, but when people feel like that they kind of have power over their decisions.
Yeah, because we're educating.
Yes.
We're not just telling them what to do.
Yeah.
We truly believe in education.
Yeah. And we're really not chasing quick fixes. Yes, we utilize medications to help and that kind of thing, but our goal is to build health. And, you know, that is, I think that's huge. And that's really our heart.
That is our heart. I mean, we do. When we see people come back, you know, 3, 4, 5 months that they spent with us really working on their health, their weight loss, their hormones, their life, just how they feel. They're a different person. And that's what I always tell them. I'm like, you would be the exact same person 6 months ago if you didn't do this.
Yeah.
Where would you be if you didn't do this? And I mean, it's unreal. It's unreal, the success stories that we have seen of people that, you know.
Because at the same time, the flip is we see people that don't push start.
I know.
And in 3 to 6 months, they're exactly where they were, still stuck.
And the thing is, they have a lot of excuses. They have a reason for it. Because they're not putting their health as a priority. They're not putting themselves as a priority. And I understand that life is hard. I do understand that. And I tell every person that has a busy life, you need to find some time in your day to be selfish. I don't, if it's 5, 10 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think 2 things. We come from a place of we feel good. We know what it's like to feel good. But then I come from a place where I also know what it's like 20 years to treat patients with chronic conditions.
Yeah.
And diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, heart disease, dementia, the list goes on. And it's rough and it's not a good path. And it's not a good, you know, last part of life.
Yeah. Amen.
So,
Well, I mean, I had somebody come in the other day, and she is 35, and I want to say she's an ICU nurse, and she was like, I need to get healthy because I am so fearful of colon cancer. I was like, okay, let's work on this. Let's, then educate her on things that have a high risk of cancer. And that's, I mean, you're looking at, like we talked about, deli meat. High risk of colon cancer is deli meat. And I asked her, I said, so are you, is it in your family? Someone died of colon cancer. She's like, no. I see younger people all the time coming in with it.
yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing is, just like you're seeing young children come in with A1Cs of pre-diabetics.
Yeah. All the time.
We're seeing, I mean, and just like we talked about, women going into postmenopause in their 40s. And men need testosterone therapy in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah. It's
the food.
because of the food.
It's the food. I believe it so much. And it doesn't even, I don't even sometimes think, if you have a history of, or if you don't have a history of cancer or comorbidities in your family, if you're eating the general diet, the diet that's available now,
Yeah.
you don't have a chance.
Yeah.
So
it's close to our heart.
It
and
is.
We hope this was helpful.
I do. Thanks for spending time with us on the Grit and Grace podcast. If this episode spoke to you, please like, share, and follow us on all platforms. And as you head back into your life, choose to pursue it with strength, faith, and intention, a life marked with both grit and grace.